Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and House. The Oxford Dictionary's definition of abortion is the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy. Today, a side proposition, I will be telling you why abortion should be banned in the upper and middle classes. This topic also has to do with the pro-life, pro-choice debate and is quite current, with the newly elected President of the United States, Donald Trump, wanting to ban abortion through all classes. Today, I will be speaking specifically on the upper and middle classes. I will be stating 2 points to prove that abortion should be banned. My first is that the upper and middle classes have been educated and that they know the consequences of not using birth control, which is affordable for them. My second is that they can afford to raise the child and for it to have a good life and a good education. Back to my first point. The upper and middle class have been educated by either their parents or at school. They also have the internet, which is constantly teaching them new things about birth control and sex education. There is no way that they wouldn't know to use birth control. Most upper and middle class schools also have sex education as a subject. They know the consequences and can afford to prevent the pregnancy by using condoms, birth control, etc. Whereas a lot of the time in lower classes, it is harder for the citizens of the lower class to find birth control or to afford it. The upper and middle class should have to face the consequences of being irresponsible and not preventing the pregnancy. My second point is that if they were not able to abort the fetus, they could afford for the baby to have a good life. They could afford a good education for the child, food, a roof over their head, and the like. Whereas in the lower class, often there couldn't be a place for the child to stay, or they couldn't afford food for the child, and it would become malnourished, and it wouldn't have as good a life as a child from the middle or upper class. To add to this, the psychological damage to the mother, knowing that she could have taken care of the baby, is terrible. Most people feel guilt, regret, anger, shame, loss of confidence, etc. They are murdering a child. They are murdering their child. They are murdering a part of themselves, which could have grown up to do extraordinary things. The guilt is even worse in upper and middle class citizens, as they or another family member can or could have raised a child. This also affects the social life and relationships of the mother getting the abortion. She would be judged by many of her friends and family for just falling pregnant, and getting an abortion would also be even worse. She would most likely be shunned by family and friends, as people are still not okay with abortions and believe it is murder. People who get abortions are more suicidal and more depressed than the average woman. The mother will never forget the pain she went through emotionally and or physically. On average, most women regret having an abortion later on and wish that they could go back and raise the child. In some cases, this was not possible, as in the lower class, but in the upper class and middle classes, it was possible. Studies have proven that upper and middle class children are also more likely to get adopted, as people are more likely to want a child that they know came from an educated family, as the genes affect the child's looks and health and education. A lot of the time, the lower class cannot take care of the child as they cannot afford to, whereas the higher class has no excuse. They could get their family to look after the baby, they could put the baby up for adoption, they could raise the child. There are many different options they could choose from. In conclusion, abortion should be banned in the middle and upper classes, mainly because they have enough money to raise the child and they also could afford to buy birth control. Thank you.